Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the news at 9. The headlines. Lok Sabha passes Unlawful Activities Prevention Amendment Bill 2019 with provisions for tough anti-terror laws. Union Cabinet approves amendments to Aadhaar Bill 2019 to enable its use to avail benefit of state subsidies. Government gives nod to creation of sugar buffer stock of 40 lakh metric tons for 1 year. India improves its rank by 5 positions in a year to achieve 52nd place in Global Innovation Index 2019. And 6 Indian pugilists, including Nikhat, Zareen and Deepak Singh, storm into the semi-finals of Thailand International Boxing Tournament. The Lok Sabha has passed the Unlawful Activities Prevention Amendment Bill 2019 amid the walkout of Congress-led opposition from the House. Earlier, the House rejected the amendments moved by Asaduddin Owaisi of AIMIM with 288 members voting against the amendments and only 8 in favour. The bill seeks to further amend the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, UAPA 1967. Replying the debate over the bill, Home Minister Amit Shah said it empowers the government to designate individuals as terrorists if the person commits or participates in acts of terrorism, prepares for terrorism, promotes terrorism or is otherwise involved in terrorism.
UAPA में व्यक्ति विशेष को
As per the provisions of the UAPA, an individual can be declared a terrorist if he is a terror activist or indulges in terrorism, provides financial support for terror activities or propagates terrorist ideology.
आतंकवाद को फैलाने के लिए जो अपप्रचार होता है वो आतंकवाद का मूल है.
The bill also empowers the Director General, National Investigation Agency NIA to grant approval of seizure or attachment of property when the case is investigated by the agency. Mr. Shah stressed the need for a tough law to deal with terrorism and assured the House that the bill has enough safeguards so that it is not misused. He said the fight against terrorism should be above party politics and called for unity against the menace.
The sole purpose of this law is to eliminate terrorism. The legislation will also give powers to the security agencies providing security to the country and its people to fight the menace of terrorism effectively.
Mr. Shah said those who finance and help terrorists should also be called terrorists. The minister also said people who are involved in what he called urban Maoism will not be spared. After the minister's reply, Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary reiterated demand to send the bill to Standing Committee for further scrutiny. Mohua Moitro of the TMC termed the bill as anti-federalism and anti-people. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said there is no question of third-party mediation in Kashmir issue as it is against the Shimla Agreement. Giving a statement in the Lok Sabha during 0 hour today, Mr. Singh said External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has already clarified in the House that the Kashmir issue did not figure during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's meet with US President Donald Trump in Osaka last month. He said during the meeting of the two leaders, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar was also present. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Amendment Bill 2019 was passed in Rajya Sabha today. The bill seeks for enhancing punishment, including a provision for death penalty for committing sexual crimes against children. To curb child pornography, the bill provides that those who use a child for pornographic purposes should be punished with imprisonment up to 5 years and fine. However, in the event of second or subsequent conviction, the punishment would be up to 7 years and fine. Replying to the debate on the bill, Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani said government has sanctioned 1,023 fast-track courts for speedy dispensation of pending cases under POCSO and sexual assault. 18 states have given the consent to set up the fast-track courts, which will be established within a span of 2 years. The minister said government's priority is to ensure that justice is delivered to every child in the country.
We have ensured that expenditure of 767 crores, of which the Government of India support will be 474 crores, is now given so that these fast-track courts are established within the limited time period of 2019-20 to 2020-21.
The government has reconstituted a group of ministers on sexual harassment at the workplace and strengthened the legal frameworks. Union Ministers Amit Shah, Nirmala Sitharaman, Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank and Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani are members of the group. The GOM was set up to examine and give recommendations for strengthening the legal and institutional framework to deal with and prevent sexual harassment at the workplace. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, CCEA, has approved creation of buffer stock of 40 lakh metric tons of sugar for 1 year from the 1st of next month. Briefing reporters after the Cabinet meeting in New Delhi today, Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar said the decision will lead to improvement in the liquidity in sugar inventories and stabilization in sugar prices. He said this will also benefit all sugarcane producing states by way of clearing sugarcane price arrears of sugar mills. Mr. Javadekar said the CCEA also approved the determination of fair and remunerative price of sugarcane payable by sugar mills for 2019-20 sugar season at 275 rupees per quintal for a basic recovery rate of 10%.
पिछले साल की तरह 275 रुपए क्विंटल का दाम.
Farmers will get 275 rupees remunerative price on per quintal of sugar cane. They will also get additional price on sugar cane if the recovery is more than 10%. This decision too will empower the farmers.
बहुत मजबूती देने वाला फैसला है.
Union Cabinet has approved official amendments to the Aadhaar and Other Laws Amendment Bill 2019. Briefing the reporters after the Cabinet meeting, Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar said government has decided to make Aadhaar as identification document so that people can avail the benefit of state subsidies directly in the bank account and to eliminate middlemen. He said there are around 128 crore Aadhaar card holders in the country.
Aadhaar will now be allowed to be used as identification for the distribution of state subsidies also. This benefits many ways because the actual beneficiary will receive the money in their bank accounts with Aadhaar identification, and bogus accounts, duplicate accounts or other undue claimants will not get undue benefit.
Union Minister for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying Giriraj Singh has asserted that agriculture along with livestock is the way forward for realizing the Prime Minister's vision of doubling farmers' income. The income from crop production is seasonal while dairying provides regular income and generates gainful employment in the rural sector. Mr. Singh was addressing a workshop on quality milk program organized by the ministry at Pusa in New Delhi today. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. India has improved its position by 5 positions in a year to achieve the 52nd rank in the Global Innovation Index 2019. After 57th rank in 2018, it has made a significant jump of 5 places in a year. II ranks innovative performances of 129 economies around the world on 80 indicators including political environment, education, infrastructure and business sophistication. India has been performing well in terms of innovation and newly emerging technologies and has fared its position by 29 places in the global index since 2015. Switzerland retained its number 1 spot on the index. The GII 2019 was released by Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal in New Delhi today. Addressing the gathering, Mr. Goyal said he has assured that the government will not rest until India achieves its target of coming in the top 25 ranks of Global Innovation Index and then making it into the top 10 ranks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has invited the families of all former Prime Ministers to share the important aspects of their lives to be put on display at the Museum on Prime Ministers of India. The museum has been built at the Teen Murti Bhavan complex in the national capital. Mr. Modi said this while releasing the book on former Prime Minister Chandra Shekhar at Parliament Library Building in New Delhi.
सभी पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री उनका एक बहुत बड़ा आधुनिक म्यूजियम बनेगा. सभी पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री के परिवारजनों से, मित्रों से मेरा आग्रह है कि वो सारी चीजें इकट्ठी करें ताकि आने वाली पीढ़ी को पता चले हाँ चंद्रशेखर जी हमारे प्रधानमंत्री थे और उनके जीवन में ऐसी ऐसी विशेषताएं थी, उनका ये योगदान था.
Prime Minister Modi said Chandra Shekhar was a man of culture and principles, but he didn't receive the due respect that he deserved. The book titled Chandra Shekhar, the Last Icon of Ideological Politics, is written by Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha Harivansh and Ravi Dutt Vajpayee. Addressing the gathering, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu expressed hope that the life of Chandra Shekhar will continue to inspire the politicians of young generation. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla and Leader of the Opposition in the Upper House, Ghulam Nabi Azad, were also present on the occasion. After the collapse of the coalition government in Karnataka, BJP made no efforts today to stake claim to form the government. BJP State President B.S. Yadurappa said that they are awaiting clearance from the BJP Parliamentary Board to call for legislative party meeting. After his visit to the RSS office today, he said that he sought the blessings and guidance of the Pramukhs. Our correspondent reports that Congress and JDS held its legislative party meetings today.
Congress Legislative Party meeting discussed the future course of action, informing the media persons about it. The party's state president, Dinesh Gundu Rao, said that the party has decided that efforts must continue to disqualify the rebel MLAs who did not attend the floor test yesterday. He also said he will not be taken back into the party. On continuation of alliance with JDS, he noted that the matter did not come up for discussion. JDS Legislative Party meeting too discussed on the future course of action and how to strengthen their party in the state. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
The first Earth-bound orbit-raising maneuver for Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft was performed successfully today. The scientists and engineers of the National Space Agency ISRO performed the task at 14:52 hours as planned using the onboard propulsion system on the spacecraft. They fired the system for 57 seconds to raise the elliptical orbit with the nearest point at 230 kilometers and the farthest at 45,163 kilometers from the Earth. The second orbit-raising maneuver is scheduled on coming Friday at 0109 hours. It may be noted that a total of 15 maneuvers will be performed to navigate Chandrayaan-2 to the moon in 48 days. Benchmark domestic indices today closed with losses amid mixed cues from global equity markets. Sensex and Nifty both declined for fifth straight session amid foreign fund outflow. Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange logged modest loss of 135 points to settle at 37,848. Nifty at the National Stock Exchange also slipped 60 points to end at 11,271. The new leader of the Conservative Party, Boris Johnson, will take over as the Prime Minister of Britain today. Mr. Johnson is scheduled to meet the Queen at Buckingham Palace, where he will be invited to form a new government. He is also expected to announce senior cabinet posts, including Chancellor of the Exchequer and Home Secretary. Sources close to Mr. Johnson say his top team will reflect modern Britain. Mr. Johnson won a decisive victory over Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt for the party's leadership. After his victory, Mr. Johnson said his priorities were to deliver Brexit, unite the country and defeat Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn. He will inherit a wafer-thin parliamentary majority and like his predecessor Theresa May, he will continue to rely on the support of the Democratic Unionists of Northern Ireland to govern. In sports news, 6 Indian pugilists, including Nikhat, Zareen 51 kg and Deepak Singh 49 kg, stormed into the semi-finals of the Thailand International Boxing Tournament in Bangkok today. Zareen is a former junior world champion and Deepak is Asian silver medalist. Nikhat recorded a 5-0 triumph over Uzbekistan Sitora Shokdarova in the women's draw. Deepak took barely a couple of minutes to leave his rival Samak Sehan of Thailand in the men's draw with a bloodied forehead, forcing a stoppage in the first round itself. Also advancing to the medal rounds were Ashish 69 kg, Manju Rani 48 kg, Vijesh Yadav 81 kg and Muhammad Husamuddin 56 kg. In Japan Badminton Open, ace Indian shuttlers PV Sindhu and Aegis Prannoy moved into the second round of the women's and the men's singles events in Tokyo today. Fifth seed Sindhu took 37 minutes to beat undefeated Chinese Han Yui 21-9, 21-17 in the women's singles. Prannoy stunned the higher-ranked compatriot K. Srikanth 13-21, 21-11, 22-20. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Lok Sabha passes Unlawful Activities Prevention Amendment Bill 2019 with provisions for tough anti-terror laws. Union Cabinet approves amendments to Aadhaar Bill 2019 to enable its use to avail benefit of state subsidies. Government gives nod to creation of sugar buffer stock of 40 lakh metric tons for 1 year. India improves its rank by 5 positions in a year to achieve 52nd place in Global Innovation Index 2019. And 6 Indian pugilists, including Nikhat, Zareen and Deepak Singh, storm into the semi-finals of the Thailand International Boxing Tournament. And for details of the stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.